Tony. He's in the building. We have a wonderful show today. Great show today. We're going to go live in a minute to New Balance High School Nationals to talk to one of our co-hosts there to give us some insight on the results of the track meet from the past 2 to 3 days. Talk about maybe some of the things that are going on in the atmosphere, any upsets that have happened at New Balance as well. So we'll go live in a few minutes to New York to New Balance High School Nationals. We also today.
Hold up. So we have a correspondent on site. We
Yes.
are already growing. Our second show, and we have a correspondent.
Yes, we've expanded, Coach. Tony.
Okay,
We've
all right, we
expanded.
got a correspondent in New Balance. Okay, all right.
We got as they say, boots in the field.
Yeah. Do we have a correspondent at the AAU National Championship? No. Okay.
Not that I know of, unless you know of something.
We just had enough budget for one.
That's
okay,
it,
that's
just
cool.
one.
That's cool. All right.
One at a time, Coach.
All
One
right.
at a time.
Cool.
We also have today a very special athlete that has been doing some phenomenal things on the AAU circuit as well as USATF and track and field. That's Princess
Moody.
Moody,
She told me I'm gonna pay her doctor bills.
and from Marlboro Track Club, Princess Moody. So we'll have her in the studio today. She's a perennial All-American on both the AAU and USATF side. She'll be talking to us today. We'll do some call-ins, probably in the third segment today, some call-ins from parents, athletes as well that may have some questions that you probably didn't get in last week. So we'll open up the lines and do some call-ins or call-outs today to some people to see what informational feedback they want to leave on the show.
Cool.
All right, so I guess we can start with the call-in. So we'll reach out to our
Correspondent.
correspondent out in the field to get some feedback on what's going on at the high school New Balance National. We're trying to reach her now. Once we reach her, we'll talk about some.
Yes.
Hello, John. This is Next Level
Hello.
Youth Training. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear us, John?
Hello.
John, can you hear us?
John, can you hear us?
I can't hear anything.
Here. Can you hear now?
Yeah, I can hear a little better.
Okay. Well, go ahead and tell us what's going on there at New Balance. What updates? What updates do you have for us there at New Balance?
Okay, so currently at New Balance, they are running the finals for hurdles, for the 60-meter hurdles, but already they have won brands, the girls 4x2 and the boys 4x2, the unseated section. So currently, in first place for the 4x2s for the unseated section is Franklin from Maryland. Second is West Babylon. And Flowers from Maryland is third, going in overall for the 4x4 times for the girls. And Franklin has a time of 3:49.16. For the boys 4x4, for the unseated section, first is Egg Harbor with 3:18.45. Second is Oxon Hill track team from Maryland. And third is Danbury track team. For the girls hurdle finals, the 60 meters, the top three girls going in are Tara Davis, Chanel Brissett, and Tia Jones. Tara Davis is the number 2 national time, and Tia Jones is the number 1 national time for girls 50-meter hurdles. The girls 4x2 has ran already for the finals, and Team War for Virginia has ran a 1:36.65 to take the championship.
That's a
Second place
phenomenal
was
time.
Western Branch with a time of 1:37.04, and third place is Cheltenham with a time of 1:38.54. For the boys 4x2, first place was Western Branch with a time of 1:26.96. second was Bogus track team, and third was Bullish track team.
Okay, so that was the boys. The Bullets came in third.
Yes, but we only came in third due to the fact that our 18 was not running.
18 was not running.
So are there any upsets you can tell us about that has occurred at New Balance this year?
Are there any what?
Any upsets?
I'd say an upset would be Bullis not having any representation for the girls 4x2. Other than that, there have been some people that have been looked at to win, but they've been getting DQ'd in preliminaries, so they don't get the chance to make it to finals. Other than that, no upsets. But William Henderson from Poly, he has advanced to finals in the 60-meter open.
That's excellent. We're actually having William Henderson will be on our show in the next 2 weeks, so he'll actually be a guest here live in studio. William Henderson is from a phenomenal student out of Baltimore, so we're excited to have him here in the next few weeks in the studio. Can you give us a little feedback on the atmosphere? What's the atmosphere like in New Balance this year?
The atmosphere is pretty live. Everything is at a very high level, and people are very excited to be here. Of course, as you know, if you run at New Balance, then you get New Balance bags, and there's a championship bag and a Virgin Elite bag. So everyone is excited about getting those. As well as just being here, we get to see the top runners in the country live in front of us, which I think is very exciting. And not only do we get to see them, but we get to compete against them, which drives everyone to run faster time and to PR. So running at New Balance Nationals is a great experience that if you're in high school and run track, you should definitely get a chance to do so.
Excellent, excellent. Coach Tony, is there anything you want to ask?
Nothing. That was excellent, John. Great job. Great job.
Well, thank you, John. We appreciate your correspondence out in the field at New Balance, and we'll see you when you get back in town.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Well, you heard it there, firsthand, live in New York at New Balance. Some of the upsets. You've heard some of the winners as far as the mile relay and 4x2 is concerned.
She did say when William Henderson won.
No, William Henderson. He made it to go back to the finals in the 60s.
Okay, so they hadn't had the finals yet.
That's correct.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he did win the long jump. Right. So he has already won the long jump. He's a national champion in the long jump. And he's headed back in the finals in the 60.
Okay.
So he'll be here in the next 2 weeks, live in the studio.
Yep, from Baltimore.
From Baltimore. So I guess we can get into some technical stuff right now.
Okay.
While we're waiting for our next segment to come up.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the boot camp.
Okay.
And the importance of the boot camp and some of the things that we will cover in the boot camp and who the boot camp is for, and what we're doing in the boot camp and what we're not doing in the boot camp for coaches that may have some concerns about some of the things that we may or may not be doing in the boot camp. So first of all, who is the boot camp for, John?
The boot camp is for sprinters. Sprinters from the 55 to the 400 meters.
Okay, what age group?
Age group 13 and up.
Okay. Although we have made an exception or two for some mature 11 and 12-year-olds who are sprinters. For the most part, ones that we know of that train with us, that has asked for the exception to be in the boot camp. So we are making an exception for a few of them, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Those individuals we know have the proper hip strength that we're looking for in teaching the proper mechanics of a sprinter.
Right. Okay. And so why don't you go over some of the things that we'll be covering in the boot camp?
Well, I guess we can start off with when it comes to a sprinter, the first thing you need to learn and dial in on as far as your technique is concerned, and that's the blocks. So we'll work on block technique all the way from the 110 to 90-degree angles that the legs need to be at in the start position, power and force coming from off of the lead leg, teaching them a low heel recovery technique, and that allowing that lead leg when it comes out of the block off the pad to circle behind the butt. We want to make sure that leg is pulled straight forward, which gives for quicker reaction time and allowing faster steps within the first 5 meters of the track.
Because when that leg or that foot or that heel goes up to the butt, what is it doing?
Well, for one, it's creating an additional movement. So the more movement that is created in a move, that's time. Because you can't make a movement without time lapsing or going by. So
it's taking more time to contact the track.
Right. And it's taking more time for it to come back through for that leg, that trail leg, to break through the knee of the lead leg. So what we teach in that first couple of steps out of the block is actually the movement is supposed to happen in the air while both feet are off the ground. So that lead leg is supposed to be pulling to where the shin or the ankle is crossing the shin of the lead leg before the lead leg actually touches the ground. That creates quicker turnover, quicker block starts, and is getting that athlete a faster advantage over everyone else. So what we try and teach our athletes is by the time you're on step 5, everybody else is on step 3. So if we can get our athletes to step 5 before their competitors, then they're already gone. They're already halfway down the track. They're already quicker in their drive phase, getting to the next turnover phase in that running cycle before their competitor even gets there.
Right. Okay. And so what are some of the drills that we're going to do in the boot camp? Or do you want to cover that?
It's countless.
We hadn't narrowed it down yet, right?
All the drills are really going to be geared towards, again, proper thigh movement. We call it thigh pop. Proper thigh movement, proper shin and ankle placement, keeping the ankle locked, not allowing the heel to curl behind the butt. So all of these drills are going to prevent the negatives in a sprinter. I mean, even don't just look and say, well, my athlete's making the finals, or my athlete is top 6 or top 10. That's great, but it doesn't mean that their technique cannot be improved for them to run better times.
Right.
Just because your athlete is making the finals does not mean that their technique is good. They need to work on that aspect so that, one, it's less wear and tear on their hamstrings. Just had a young man.
And that gap is going to close the older they get. The more technically sound the competition gets, that gap is going to close.
It's going to close.
So it's more than just about being in shape or just being naturally fast and quick. You need technique along with it.
And it's the science. I mean, it's the fundamentals. 90% of our kids today, they run with their foot, their ankle, and their knee. When they should be running with their thigh. That's the biggest muscle on your leg. That's where the majority of your muscle mass is on your leg. So if you're running with that, if you're pulling with that, then that's just yanking your foot and your ankle off the ground, as opposed to you trying to run with your foot and ankle carrying all of the weight above it. So we teach our athletes to run with the strongest muscle in their body, which allows quicker, faster, more powerful, and a smoother run without all of the stress on the hamstring.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that we hone in on, and we teach our athletes when it comes to just better fundamentals of becoming a sprinter.
Okay. And the Sprinters Boot Camp is March 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Sports and Learning Complex. Register on our website if you're interested. Anything else you want to cover about the boot camp?
No, I mean, I just think, it's a phenomenal opportunity for athletes in this area to really get a fundamental base of of how to run, how to run properly, which again takes a lot of the wear and tear off of the body. It allows their time to come down, and they become a more efficient athlete.
Right. And it's for athletes that's running 100, 200, and 400, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of high schools during that weekend in PG County, they have a track meet, but it's the first track meet of the year. You can throw that track meet away. If I was a coach and you had this opportunity as an athlete to go to a camp that specialized in teaching you the fundamentals of how to run, I would say you need to go to that camp.
Yeah. And we are inviting the high school coaches, if you have athletes that want to come to the boot camp, we're inviting you to come to the boot camp so that you can see what we're teaching your athlete. We're not taking your athlete through any workouts, and just so you know, to any concerns that you may have, you can come and watch the camp.
That's correct. Because we always want to create that relationship with any coach, whether it's a basketball kid that we train, wrestler, soccer. We always want to make sure that we have that communication, because there's certain things that coach would like to see that athlete do on the field, and certain things that they have in mind as far as their development. Well, in that communication, we create our training program in relationship of things that coach wants to see happen, or how this athlete should improve.
Right. We communicate with coaches all the time about their athletes, and we also like to make the high school coaches, for the most part, feel comfortable. We have no hidden agendas. We're not trying to steal your athletes or guide your athletes to another coach or anything like that. We have no hidden interests or associations. So usually that's a big concern with the high school coaches.
Yeah. The door is wide open at Next Level Youth Training.
It sure is.
It's an open community, just as this platform is. This platform is for every high school and grassroots track team and club that's out there. This is an open door for them. We want to make sure that we give them the opportunity to come on here and talk about the good things that they're doing in their community, and come on and show accolades for their athletes that are doing wonderful things.
Okay. I think we need to take a break pretty soon.
We're going to take a break now, and when we come back from the break, we'll have Princess Moody from Upper Marlboro.